What's going on, everybody? And in today's video, I want to talk about some ideas I have for videos and what you can expect, not just on this channel, but also on my gaming channel. So before we get started, I just want to take a minute and say I am using a new camera. This is the Panasonic Lumix FZ200. It is a mirrorless bridge camera, and I don't know that it's going to give me anything better than what I was getting with this guy, my Canon Vixia. But if there's one thing that I can say is that I at least have a little bit more control over the quality of the videos, and in that regard, it is a nice thing to have. It gives me at least a chance to learn about the camera and understand it a little better, so that when I am ready to buy a new camera, I actually kind of have a clue as to what I'm doing. But in any case, today I wanted to talk about some of the future ideas I have for videos, because I do have a couple of them that are floating around in my head. And I do want to talk about that and kind of give you an idea of what to expect here and on the gaming channel. So one of the first things I do want to do, and it's going to take a little bit more research on, is NZXT has launched its build site, Let's Build BLD. And what it basically does is you pick the games you want to play, you pick your budget, and NZXT spits out a configuration for you, and you can either build it, and you can either select it and they'll build it for you and get it out to you, or you can kind of tweak it a little bit. And it's a neat idea. I'm just not sure about the FPS thing that they've got going on, and I'm not real fond of the fact that they have a very limited budget level. It's just something that I'm not really certain of. So I think it's a nice service, but I think the execution could be a little bit better. So I'm very, very interested to do some research. Initial looking around has indicated that sites like iBuyPower are still a little bit cheaper than this, and it's because NZXT is premium, but this for that video. I do want to kind of explore that and see, how does it compare to other sites? How does it compare to building yourself? And what do I think that maybe they can do to make it a little bit better for consumers? Again, I love the idea of picking your games and here's your build, but I found some flaws in the way that it's handled. I keep hitting my desk with my chair and making it wobble. Another thing I want to do is I want to follow up on my initial thoughts on Intel's X299 platform. My thoughts haven't really improved much. I'm not really sure what Intel was trying to get to with this rushed launch. I think a lot of people were hoping that these processors, the Skylake X processors, would see an improvement in thermals because of all the outrage over like Kaby Lake, but hasn't been the case thus far, and I do have some things that I want to see. I'm waiting for some more reviews, though. I've only seen reviews from Gamers Nexus, Hardware Unboxed, and you know, Linus did his, but his was kind of watered down. It didn't really touch on the thermals or the power draw. So I'm waiting for some of the other guys to get a hold of it. Kyle Bitwit has not done a full-fledged review. Paul's Hardware, Jay's 2 cents. There's a few other guys. I'm waiting for more reviews to come out because I don't have access to the hardware, and that's one of the downsides of me wanting to do more tech stuff. I don't have the money, the resources to go ahead and do that, and so I'm kind of stuck with what I have. And what I have is fairly nice, but I can only show you that so much, and that's another idea that I have. So we're going to segue right into that. I didn't really go over in detail the parts that went into this build, and I kind of want to do a little mini series in the PC build vlog where I take something like the case, the processor, so on and so forth, and just do a real quick overview on what is in there, what part did I use, why I chose it, why I didn't choose something else, and maybe what kind of upgrade path. So for example, with the case, I could talk about how I started with the NZXT H440 and eventually moved on to the Phanteks Enthoo Evolv. With the processor, I could talk about how I chose the 5820K because Ryzen wasn't out and I didn't want to be dealing with early adopter. The graphics card, all that stuff, I could touch on why I made decisions that I made and what I could do going forward, because there are upgrade paths with this build. With this build, specifically the CPU, there are still other Broadwell E processors I could throw on. There's still other X99 boards that I could get that might be better. Obviously, graphics card, I have 2 stages above the 1070 on the NVIDIA side. Vega's coming. So there's a lot of stuff that I could kind of demonstrate that are inside this build and why I chose them and all that. So that's another idea that I have. It would be a multi-part series, obviously. Another idea that I have for future videos is to kind of give you an in-depth look at myself, my childhood, my experiences growing up, early adulthood. There's a lot of stuff that you guys don't know about me, a lot of things I went through that maybe you didn't know that I would, by looking at me, by listening to me in my videos, by following me on social media. There's a lot of stuff that maybe you wouldn't know that I've experienced, that I've been through, that I've kind of not really talked much about, and kind of give you a closer look at who I am, how I am where I am right now, and what I'm hoping to do in the near future. So I have some of those ideas rolling through my head, and obviously the gaming side of things. There's not been a whole lot. I still have episodes of Ori and the Blind Forest to edit. I need to play more of the game. I do still want to do opening moments. I haven't really sat down to do much in terms of content creation. I've been still spending a lot of time with my child, and I have a problem, friends. I have a problem. I cannot stop watching hardware videos. I can't. I have this problem where I need to watch videos where they're building computers, and I have not been able to stop. In fact, on my computer right now, I have PC Part Pickers YouTube channel up, and I have been going through all their builds. And I would love to build computers. I would love to do more with it. I would love to really turn it into something that I could do. It's really hard to get into that right now, especially with the graphics card shortages that are going on. It's just really hard to get into that. So I would love to do more of it. I would love to sit here and spend more time on hardware, talk about the technical side of PCs and what I've learned to this point, because I've learned a ton, but I still have a lot more to learn. And I really just wish there were more avenues, maybe. So as you can see, I am trying to learn and get better with things, and I'm trying to make my videos as good as possible, but there's still things that I need to do. But I think that guy turned out pretty good. Oh, I never did fix you. The way that I have this set up right now is my primary microphone kind of goes right there. This comes back. And those guys sit right there. So you guys have seen a lot of this build, though. I've talked a lot about it, and I've done a lot of minor tweaking to it, and it's good. Where it's at right now, let me get that up. It is good. I love the color scheme right now. I thought about going with red, white, and blue for 4th of July, but I'm never. The whole being American thing right now is a touchy subject, especially outside of the States, because politics. And I'm not getting into that discussion. And I try to avoid a lot of that kind of stuff. I try to avoid a lot of stuff that could cause controversy. I don't talk a lot of sports. I don't talk a lot of politics. I try to keep it what is going on with my build and all this other stuff. Speaking of which, if you aren't aware, I have a laptop over here, and let me see if I can't get some shots of this. My little cheap lighting effect to get my face looking a little bit better. So this guy right here, not that, is my Acer Aspire. It's my Acer Aspire V Nitro Black Edition. It has an Intel i7-4720 HQ processor, has a GTX 960M graphics card in it, so it's a little bit older, and it's not quite as powerful as some of the stuff that's out there right now, but it still gets the job done. It has worked very well for me. It actually was a great bridge laptop to get me to that desktop back there, and I'm going to put it up for sale, I think. So I think I'm going to put it up. I paid $600 for it last summer because the NV was just not cutting it anymore, and I needed a little bit more power. So I'm going to put it up, and I'm going to hope to get a little bit for it. I don't expect to get a lot, because obviously 1050 Ti's, 1050 systems are available for $700-800. And a 1050 Ti, as far as I am aware, is faster. But it does have a 256 gigabyte M.2 drive in it, and I will keep my 1 terabyte 7200 RPM drive in there. For storage, has 16 gigabytes of memory. It's a very, very solid system. I will be doing a fresh install of Windows on it before I actually go ahead and send it on out. And it's done a nice little job. It's not, you know, the highest performing laptop on the market, but it will definitely serve somebody very well, especially someone who doesn't want to play the most demanding games. You'll be able to play some moderate games to it. And it's not perfect. There's actually a dent in the lid. I'm going to try and do some shots of it so you can see the laptop overall. And the backlighting, it's red. The keys are red LED backlighting. It's not the best. It's actually really not that great in my opinion. I don't understand the red backlighting on these things because it doesn't make anything easier to see. But it's a nice laptop. It does the job very well. And I've been pretty impressed with its performance. It should serve somebody else very well indeed. I'm not using it, and I could probably use a little bit of extra money, and that might actually set me on a better upgrade path for this guy in the near future. Or it could be money I put aside for the Ryzen build I want to do down the road, because I do want to do a Ryzen build. I think building a Ryzen machine would be a lot of fun, and I would rather have another desktop over where this camera is right now. I would just rather have that than, you know, a little laptop that's fairly underpowered. I'd love to have something that's close to, if not better, maybe even, than that guy back there. And so that's kind of the idea. I'm going to put it up on eBay most likely, unless you're someone who might be interested in it. So I'm going to put that up probably in the next couple of days. In the meantime, though, I think that's about going to do it for this video. I've pretty much touched on everything that I wanted to talk about. Hopefully things work out in the long run. There's a lot of moving parts still to my situation at home. I'm doing the best I can, but I can't guarantee that everything is going to be, you know, 100% awesome. But I'm going to try. I'm going to try, guys. I'm going to try and do this. I've got ideas for videos and things I want to do. So I'm going to get out of here for now. I'm going to enjoy the rest of my day. Hope you enjoy yours, and I will catch you in the next one.